Hello everyone and welcome to a late night, last minute recording for today. This isn't going to be a too terribly long video. This is not going to be a super in-depth video, but I wanted to talk about the October update, which has just dropped for JP, including the new character, the Wind Elemental character Gugan, as well as the redo of Final Fantasy Tactics. And there's a lot to talk about in this, But with that being said, not everything is going to be said in this video. I will be updating a more comprehensive look tomorrow because there is just so much to talk about with the Final Fantasy Tactics characters from my just initial look, and we will be previewing a little bit of one of the characters. So hang on to your butts. But starting with a new month in the month of October, there have been some things that I've been curious about, so let's talk about that. And while I'm just getting it ready, shoutouts to my Final Fantasy Rebirth playthrough, which has just gone up. I definitely recommend checking that out, provided you are not adverse to spoilers. And if you are adverse to spoilers, well, just drop a view and then leave. That helps me out a lot. Thank you. Taking a look at this, the selected tickets have not updated for the Phantom Days. That was pretty long shotty, even like before. I kind of knew that this wasn't going to happen, but it is nice to confirm it. I can now confirm that at the month of October that these are not going to be updated in any way, shape, or form. What we see is essentially what we get for them. Now, as for tactics, let's talk first about this. So there is 2 medal shops to do here, and I think that this is really super important to note. We take a look at this. The regular medal shop has 40 shards for each character, which adds up considerably, really quite fast for people who are potentially wanting to upgrade these characters. If you take a look, I mean, there's even 80 shards for our SSR. There's a ton of shards, like shards for Gaff, who are people who are new. You get him for free, and then you can just build him up pretty easily. Mustadio is here getting 80. Delita's here. All of these characters are here, which is quite interesting. As well as the rest of the shop. Basically, nothing too terribly much new here. But then we have this, which is another special shop where you can essentially get the requirements to build one of these characters all the way up to a 120 full build. So this is actually very, very special for the Tactics Remaster. As you can see, you only have an opportunity for one, and I do believe, I don't even remember how you get these yet. I haven't had that much time, but it was noted in a in-game news update that basically people would be able to choose a 120 version of these characters. So, I mean, if you are interested in a specific character and you don't have it, the way I understand it at this point in time, and I apologize if I get people's hope up only to dash them later, but yes, people will be able to choose a 120 version of one of these characters. If you choose one for one that you already have, I think you just get some shards. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty generous, and I'm pretty happy that they are doing something like this because it is pretty nice for, players of the game. Speaking of long-term players, there is also a shop. The shop includes a free 10-ticket pull for our new Grouchy Wind character, which is kind of interesting. And if we look over here, the Final Fantasy Tactics shop returns and is refreshed, which is quite nice. As you can see, I've already done my gold purchasing for all of these. I essentially just grabbed all of this. Ended up being 720 million gold. So make sure you have those cash reserves. It's pretty funny that it is just so much because, obviously whenever this happens, you spend 100 million gold. It's not that too big of an impact, but here it was just kind of like, whoa, wow, okay, all right. But that's pretty cool. Jumping a bit ahead, Obviously, everybody's going to be interested in finding out a ton of previews for their favorite Final Fantasy Tactics character that is available in the game, and I am happy to confirm that there are more upgrades than what were previously shown off. So limit burst upgrades are available in the game for each of the characters with limit bursts. That's pretty nice. And if we take a look when upgrading to 140, you can see just a wall of text in terms of the upgrades here. And I haven't gone through all of it yet. For instance, my Discord is basically just kind of going over some stuff right now, talking about, like, for instance, Orlando has 40 AoE resistance penetration built right into him, which more than, is pretty comparable for some good units out there nowadays. So that's pretty encouraging for people who are concerned about it. Again, haven't gone over all the details here yet, but it is a considerable extra portion of upgrades that was not in the preview. That goes a long way to making characters much better and pretty competitive. As some people have chimed in the comments, some current players even use Agrius still. So, my underestimation maybe, but also I haven't seen people using Agrius, so it is what it is. Taking a look at Agrius, Agrius is the one character I've already upgraded to 140, just because at the initial start of this, I basically just looked around and chose, my favorite of the bunch to just upgrade and see what her upgrade looks like. Taking a look at her sword, it has 30 AoE resistance penetration now, 30 slash resistance penetration, and 30 reaction block, which is a considerably nice upgrade for this piece of equipment, and really goes a long way to pushing Agrius to be much better in terms of a damage dealer. Also, if we take a look here, this also has improved a little bit, for instance, giving characters a 1 turn, 1 move bonus, which is pretty nice for, just upgrading a very old piece of equipment. Not fully upgraded yet. It's still a +3 because I never built it. Whatever, fire me for that. But if we look at Agrius's overall stats, I think they're pretty impressive for a tank nowadays. 1700 for HP with 0 reincarnations at this point, 1400 attack, 48 defense, 50 spirit, 54 accuracy, which isn't terrible, and a splash of evasion, I guess, 103 speed, and 50 single target resistance. Not much AoE resistance, probably needs to be somewhere on a vision card for that, but there's even a little bit more that's been packed into her upgrade, such as here, looking at resistances. A lot of slash and magic resistance, good elemental resistance across the board for this build. But now you might notice something new, and that is 50% curse resistance, which is something that they also have fitted into our upgrade. So the upgrades are pretty comprehensive between equipment, kit, limit burst, and reincarnation at this point. I would say that they have done a massive amount of work to effectively improve this. And yes, the Dream enhancement / reincarnation enhancement has upgraded some of the support skills, which some people have been more than a little bit concerned about, so there you go. This is also with Trust Mastery runes, but I think that's pretty fair at this point. Either way, for people who have been concerned about maybe this tactics update wouldn't be substantial enough, I would say that it's considerably substantial, at least for now, and enjoy it while you essentially can. Here we can look at 1 day, 1 time temple where you get some unit shards off of it. So this event is also pretty generous, I would say, and I'm pretty overall happy with it. Of course, your mileage will vary depending on what your expectations are and everything. And over the next few days, we'll obviously preview our new character Gugan here, as well as just all of the tactics characters, because I think it is quite valuable at this point. And given that this video just previewing all of these updates is already 10 minutes, that should tell you that it's going to take a considerable amount of time for me to get through all of the characters, so please be patient while I do that. But let's end this video the only way that feels right, with a free 10 pull for our new Wind Slashy guy. Before, let's pay homage to him. and show off this. I'm not particularly too worried about previewing him yet. We can take a peek actually before the end of this video, in case his friend unit is up. I haven't checked yet, but there's his limit burst. Very, very samurai. A little bit of luck, onegaishimasu, as we say. Hi. Not looking too terribly promising at this point. Looking considerably less promising at this point. Looking even worse at this point. And that's it. It's dead. As soon as you see a blue at the top, might as well just pack it in. Nothing good is going to happen. Oh well. Let's see if the friend unit is up. I think with these midnight updates, they do show up more often, but we'll see. Also a new story update. Guess I'll just download that because I love when this game is just like, hey, there's a new update. It takes this much megabytes. I actually don't want to download it. Too bad it's downloading. All right. So a little bit of a preview here of Gugan, thankfully. So we can take a look here. 13k HP with the current pure wind build. He is a physical attacker with about 18k attack, 116 speed. Which, if we compare to, I don't know who's the best unit. My wind party is very, very outdated at this point. But Fly Glassy, for example, without reincarnations. Taking a look at some other key things. I mean, he does have the Hermes sandals here. His Trust Mastery is a little bit of agility as well. Spirit and defense, pretty much nothing. More single target than AoE resistance with this current build. And 560 dexterity, which might be interesting. And very, very strong anti-mage. That might be his actual purpose. No curse resistance, frostbite resistance, which is kind of nice since ice would probably be the unit you would use against him. So maybe very anti-Gilgamesh character for wind and fire based comps. And confusion and disable, or don't move, sorry. So there you go. That's just a quick little preview of this guy. We'll have a more full preview in the near future. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and see you later.